We are ready.
Beautiful.
We
What
are
do,
so very excited for today.
what do we have with
We
us today?
wanted, mm, we are calling from the consciousness of 12-dimensional collective of angels and ascended masters, including the higher self of this vessel, as this vessel is ascended master herself, coming into this physical experience to help others, to guide them, to heal them, and to help them create a new fifth dimensional, more love-based communities like she did in her connection with Egypt. We are here to connect with you and further extend the connection to all of those you know and you can connect. So the wider the spread of the information and the wider the spread of the heart-based frequencies, the quicker we can move to the fifth dimension.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Let's continue with what is Monica's role in all of this? What does she need to hear today? What would you like to share with her?
That she is a powerful being. The belief systems that she was raised in and still are held in place within society is trying to diminish many of the starseeds and humans alike, to tell them that they do not have the power, that they are just a single soul that has not hold the power, but that is not true. Every single soul has a power to change, and the more we come together, the more we can understand ourselves better, heal our traumas, move forward, and we can create the life that we want.
Let's talk more about creating that new life. I know so many people are over this current life we're living. How do we get there faster?
When you all focus first on healing your wounded egos, the childhood traumas, the destiny can be unveiled. Once you are sitting in your wounded ego and your traumas are running your life, you are in a fear-based or in the victimhood mentality. You are not seeing clearly, you cannot feel clearly because you're operating on the lower vibrational, and you cannot hear your guides, you cannot hear your higher self to guide you where you need to go. So the first step is healing all of those, healing the traumas, healing the ego. You do not need to fight the ego. Ego is here to show you, is to mirror, to show you where is that you need to work on. Once you make the work, your destiny can be revealed It will show you, it will guide you, your higher self, your angels, and the guides, the masters. If you ask for help, they will guide you. They will show you exactly what you need to do and what is your purpose in this world.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. So you mentioned Egypt, and Monica and I talked about Egypt before starting this session. What do you want her to know about her connection to Egypt?
That this is not just her imagination, that this was part of her Lyran incarnation in the physical. Right now, her higher self is in energetic form. It has been for quite some time, but there was a time when she was in her true Lyran form in a physical space, in a physical incarnation, and that was when she was in Egypt. She was, as you know, a goddess of Hathor. However, she never referred to herself as that. She never felt as she was a goddess. There was many extraterrestrial races at that time on planet Earth helping the humanity to understand how to live, how to um, cultivate agriculture, waters, and all that is needed to sustain life on Earth, and how to proper, properly treat all the energies and Mother Earth. So she and so many others that you are seeing on the petroglyphs in the Egypt were extraterrestrials that were helping humanity. They were never gods, really. They were just advanced races of extraterrestrials that had powers that were greater than the humanity has. Many of those depictions showing different advanced objects shown.
Well, you said she was a goddess of Hathor, and she mentioned that she was shown this black stone in the center of her forehead and then found that stone here. What does she need to understand about that stone? What is it?
That stone was for her to connect with the essence of that incarnation, because that incarnation was a true higher self of hers. It is carrying the same vibration. So it is a vibration of her higher self. It was embedded. The vibration was embedded within that stone. It was very beginning of her journey. So we wanted to provide her with that stone. The stone had a mm, two-way of helping her. First, it was a protective stone, the stone that reflects negativity, so she can stay in her higher vibrational state, and also to have her better connect energetically with her higher self.
Wonderful. And is there anything else important for her to understand about her time in Egypt or how it's connected to this role that she has here now?
The role is pretty much the same as she was in there. The role is to be, she doesn't like the term of leadership because it carries the energy of, especially here and now in this time, that the leadership is not considered a good vibrational match to what we wanted to create, but we were in a leadership role into how the new systems must be conveyed, how to create new communities, and that communities need leadership, but the leadership must be placed within compassion and love, not on power. And the leadership also must include every living being, and the leadership has to take into consideration not only the adults but also children and animals and earth. Everything must be in perfect balance, because the decisions that needs to be made cannot only benefit one, it has to be benefit to all living things. All energies must be balanced. And this is the leadership that needs to be going forward if we wanted to live in a golden age.
Well, let's talk a little bit about her role as a leader. If she's having a little trouble stepping into that, what does she need to hear from you today?
The difficulty she have understanding is there is a resistance to step into a leadership role, because like we said, there is still a dogma around how leadership looked like, how the leadership was abusing the powers. So her she never seen the leadership, true leadership, as it's supposed to look like. In her human brain only knows and understood and sees the how the leadership in each country she lived, the world leadership is about the power, who can offer more, who will benefit more. It doesn't care about the animals, it doesn't care about the earth, it really doesn't care about humans either. It just wants to have the power, and this is not what she wants. She never wanted power. She just wanted to create the world where everyone can feel wanted, included, and loved. So this is the resistance a little bit, how the leadership looked like till today, and how she wanna be the leader. And she's not exactly sure how other people will take her as a leader and if they will accept her leadership.
What do you want her to know about that?
We just wanted to let her know that she doesn't need to worry about all that, because everything will come. And we have said to her that there are some things that we are not showing her, and we are not showing her because if we show her something, she will run it through the head and she will try to come up with different things, approaching different ways of handling stuff, and that hmm, is creating a resistance a little bit, but also it might interfere with the flow of things. So if she doesn't know, then she cannot run it through the head and it will go smoother. And we already said that to her, and she understands because she knows that her head is a lot of times trying to run after hours and go into much detail and running different scenarios through. So she understands that.
Wonderful. Well, while we're on the subject of Egypt, she mentioned that she had received that her husband was the god of water in Egypt. What can you share with her about that?
He was so beautiful. So he is a god of water. He is what you would know a Poseidon. We are understanding that in your human understanding, we are mixing two different mythology, but it is not a mythology. It is just how different nations came across different extraterrestrial species, and the god of water, as the Poseidon was seen in the Greek mythology, he was just a powerful extraterrestrial that was in the water. It's like this vessel also had incarnation as a water creature that in the time of Lemuria and Atlantis, but that particular time um, he was a water creature, as we wanted to say. Mm, Although at that time he was not her husband, the intended husband, but that timing was the god of Ra that was agreed upon from her father, but the, her current husband has been after that with her. They are the twin flames. So after the first contract was concluded, they have connected together and they've been ever since.
Beautiful. And so you mentioned her father. Let's talk about her Lyran heritage. What does she need to know about that today?
Well, her Lyran heritage is the royal line. Her father is the king of Lyran nation. He he is still in his energetic form and he comes visit her quite a lot of times recently. He is shown her many times that she is a descendant of the Lyran nation, that she is a Lyran princess, though she does not like to disclose that. It feels strange to her to feel like this, but we have shown her that many times because her understanding, human understanding, is very similar to the understanding of leadership. The the image of the royals on earth has not been positive, and her understanding that it doesn't really mean that if someone is of the royal line has to be malicious or has to be in any way intimidating or using. The true meaning is that this is the true leadership when it comes to it, that you care about all people, not just your close family or your nation. You are having a greater responsibility because you are in charge of the planet, of the nation, of the town, of the country, and whatnot, and you have much more responsibilities than an average person.
Tell her a little bit more about what it means to be a part of this royal family, what it means to be a princess. What does she need to understand?
Because our planet was destroyed when she was a small child, we have shown her when she needed to fled the Lyran planet and it was destroyed, it was blown away. We have found a refuge in the Pleiades. There is not much of exactly about a royal line. It is just remember your heritage and a responsibility that we are responsible not only for ourselves and our family, but we are responsible for more and that the responsibility is greater on those who are in charge. She is a part of her energetic form, is a part of Galactic Council of Light. Her brother is in Galactic Council of Light. Her older brother is also part of that. Thoth the Atlantean is her older brother. Her father is in the Galactic Council of Light. So even though we come from the lineage of the royals, you can say, but we are not acting as royals. We are just remembering our heritage and our understanding of duties towards not only our nation, but all nations, including Earth. And the only thing that she needs to understand that she doesn't need to complicate things, comparing that to the human and human nations when they had royals walking upon this earth and abusing the power that they have been given or they placed on themselves.
Thank you so much for that. Let's get into this Galactic Council of Light. What does she need to know about her connection there? I know she said that she had a vision in one of her meditations with her Pleiadian mother and her Lyran father and being on stage and giving a speech. What can you share with her about that?
That she already is a leader, although her human side is not exactly accepting that at this time. This is who we are. We are part of the leadership, and she needs to know that it is not only their leadership within the Galactic Council of Light, but also it needs to be within some of the new communities that will be coming up on Earth. And the important thing is that she will be one of the first ones to have a physical contact with extraterrestrial ships when they land on Earth. And the reason that is because she is both human and extraterrestrials. And because of her connection with the Galactic Council wanted to have someone trusted and someone who is already in a leadership role to guide humanity, to guide new communities into not fearing the ships, not fearing extraterrestrials when they arrive. They wanted to have someone who can bridge both of those communities, both of those nations, galactic nations and human nation, because she is both and she can do that. She can connect with both and care for both, not placing one on top of the other or stating one is more important than the other. and the galactic families, when they will be coming in, they will bring much more information and technologies. They will bring gifts that we can use, the humanity can use it for further advancement, but for the good of humanity, not for the bad. They will bring healing modalities and healing devices and additional devices for the free energy and other technologies that will help humanity better, cleaner materials like we can build and technologies that we can use to live closer to the earth, but also in harmony with earth, not harming the earth and depleting the resources.
Wonderful. And so when she was, what she remembers about giving that speech, she says the earth had already split and there are bridges for people to cross from the third to the fifth dimension. Can you go into more detail about what that was?
Yes, so the earth has already split. So there is a third dimensional earth and a fifth dimensional earth, that the split has already happened. There are bridges in between, so the people who are awakening can still cross the bridge and move into the fifth dimension. The people who are on a bridge and the final split has happened, those who are on the bridge will make it to the fifth dimension. However, those who cannot raise their frequency, they cannot go and clear their traumas, heal their traumas, and come into coherence with their own soul and with their own ego, they unfortunately will not be able to cross at some point. We do not like to give predictions, but we wanted to say within around 2 years, that split will be final. There, we do not like to say that, but it is happening. Many of the ones who there are many who are on the finish line for this incarnations. There will be many who will depart this earth, and they are ready to depart this earth that was their contract, not to go through ascension, but to finish. To finish, they will be reincarnated on the other side of the galaxy in a different version. There is another planet, a third dimensional planet, that they will be able to go and finish wherever they want to accomplish, but that planet has not been penetrated by the dark forces like this one. And many will go, but this is how it's intended. This third version of Earth will cease to exist at some point, but many will cross the bridge into the fifth dimension.
And
The
so you,
time seemed to be speeding up. That's why more and more people are called forward to move that process along, to get as many souls as we can get through the bridge, to awaken more and more souls, to help them clear their traumas, to help them remove the scarcity mind, the mind of the victimhood, the mind of being small. We are here to help them so they can raise the vibration and move to the fifth dimension.
So you mentioned that Monika is to raise up into leadership. And so, how will that look? What are the steps she needs to begin to take to do that in order to help be that bridge to assist those who are needing a little help?
She doesn't need to do anything. She already is. Everything will unfold in a perfect time. We have wakened her up now because we have chose to waken her up. She always have been psychic, but not to the extent it was not safe for her to be, to show her true gifts before. So we kept it hidden until now. And now everything is waking up. Everything will come forward is precise time. Everything will come up as it needs to come. The people will come to her naturally because of her high vibration, compassion and love for all. So people will naturally will will come to her, will start to come to her to for advice, and she is a channel. So she will be holding channeling sessions for the communities, for the healing of the people. So people will start to place their trust in her. So it will all come naturally. She doesn't need to do anything.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And so she shared another experience that she had with Three Eye Atlas, and she was connected there and sending these codes that were encapsulated in this pill like shape and sending those down almost in like pillars or tubes of light down into Earth's grid. Can you go into detail and tell her a little more about what that was all about?
So the 3A Atlas was sent to to release the codes, and those were the codes for humanity, but also codes for the new Earth, for the fifth dimensional Earth. And the Earth herself is birthing a new her. So the old grids that were in the third dimensional will no longer be active, and they no longer have been the same. They cannot be the same. There has to be a change in the energetic structure of the Earth. So the 3A Atlas carried the codes from the galactics to have activated the new grids. So few months ago, she was sent to retrieve some of the codes. She was not the only one. There are many other souls and extraterrestrials and starseeds who were getting the codes from the 3A Atlas and were placing them in the specific places. Those tubes were the markers for the new, that will be forming the new grid, and they were just retrieving the codes and putting them into those specific tubes of light pillars. They were going very deep inside the earth, and they were sticking out of the earth around 12 feet above, and we were placing those codes inside so they can be activated within Earth's core, come into coherence with the Earth's core, and then they can connect with each other through the energetic, creating energetic fields and energetic new grid of the 5D Earth.
So, is that all Three Eye Atlas is for? Is the codes for New Earth, or are there other codes? Are there other things that it's here supporting humanity with at this time?
There are many codes. There are many codes. First waves, it is releasing as it goes, as it travels. The codes was first for humanity awakening more and more. More star seeds are awakened by the energetic forces that coming off the codes that are sending. many people are feeling drained. They are feeling different kinds of exhaustion or different kinds of feelings within the body. And that happens most when the body is still in some way in resistance. Being in the sun, being in the sunshine, that activates those codes. The light is activating the codes. So what we wanted to say is every single one of you to get out in the sun every single day if they can, even if it's through the window, if a couple minutes a day, the sun is activating the codes, and the codes are not only for the awakening, they are for furthering back. So every couple of weeks, there are the new codes released, and those codes are to activate our lineages, activate our connections with ourselves, our connections with our psychic gifts, to activate our psychic gifts. And the most recent codes that is coming, it is the greatest codes of ever for awakening divine feminine, because divine feminine has been suppressed for so many years, many years, and now it is time for her to wake up, because the earth herself is also a divine feminine. She is giving the life. So divine feminine must come to the surface. It must be awakened again, and it must take the leadership of the humanity, because the men who have been in control, their control is forced. When a femininity is in charge, it leads with the heart, it leads with compassion, and the rule of man has come to an end, and divine feminine must be balanced now. It cannot be in hiding anymore. It has to come out, has to have herself shown, be heard, be loved back, because many are afraid, or has been deluded, has been taken down and made as insignificant, made only for a flesh or as a breeding stock. It is not. The great feminine must be awakened to her rightful place. And masculine and feminine has to come to the balance back again.
Beautiful. And so these codes that we're receiving right now, I had heard that there's going to either be an influx of them or something a little more powerful possibly coming. Let's just say between December 12th and 21st. Is that, are we getting more of these codes coming in, or do you see something bigger happening that's going to boost this awakening?
Yes. So the December 12th and December 21st, the winter solstice. Winter solstice is the thinning of the veil. It is the time when the seat of the soul will be able to take more space within our energetic bodies. So the codes that are we sending for the 12th will be the feminine codes, but for the 21st, the codes are to enhance our connection with our own soul. So as we are ascending, our light bodies are expanding, and what we are showing now, our energetic body is able to expand a little bit better and is able to sustain a little bit more light. And because of that, our soul is like a projector. So the soul to that point was only projecting a small image of itself. But as we are expanding our field, as we are raising our vibration, the soul can actually penetrate deeper and take more space with our energetic field. There is a notion that we are birthing ourselves anew. We have shown this vessel that we will be doing a meditation when we are technically getting born again with higher vibration, with our new selves, higher selves, with the higher vibration, with the heart that is bigger. The field is expanded and our soul have better connection with ourselves. And there is additional changes that are coming in the 2026. The 2026 is the year of the fire horse. It will be fast-paced. The things will happen very fast. The things will shake into the 2026. There might be additional shaking of the earth in February. And there is another important time coming, March 21. There will be a specific alignment of the stars that will activate additional codes and it will activate the pyramids in Egypt as the stars coming into alignment. The secrets will be revealed.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Well, let's talk about so Monika had watched another hypnosis session that I did with my dear friend Julie. And as Julie was talking about gathering a circle of 12, Monika heard, "You are the 13th," that she holds the 13th frequency. What do you want her to understand about that today?
The frequency of the 13th is the frequency that was lost. Your earth had 13th months. There is 13 full moons, so the 13 is a stabilizing. The 3 plus 1 is 4, is a stabilizing number. And number 13 is a lucky number also. It was always about bringing in, harmonizing. The circle of 12 must come together, but that circle will soon expand and expand and expand. We, at some point, will have to come together. There will be 144 people. There is a need for the gathering, for those individuals will come to the place and the frequency that will be sent through will have an effect for the entire earth. Once 144 people will come into coherence, into the heart, they will link together and they will send a ripple so powerful it will be felt in the entire universe. There will be a shift in the timeline and more people, we would be able to shift it fully into the golden age.
So when you talk about this 144 people, are these just 144 activated people that will work together, or is this working together in one location? Is this groups of maybe 12? that are activated? How does that work?
There are many who are activated, but they are scattered around the world. The more we can have together, the better. However, the physical location and all 144 people linked together in one location will be much more powerful, because you humans have forgotten that the physical contact and being in close proximity is so much very important. Of course, if we can have globally people come together at the same time through the Zoom and other means of connecting through your internet, will be beneficial. But a 144 is a very specific frequency, and if we can have 144 people connecting in a one location, connecting their hearts, their minds into a meditation, it is so much more powerful. The right people will come along, the right people will show up. There will be an event that will happen. It will happen when it needs to happen. It will all come in the right time.
Wonderful. She wants to know, what is the significance of the oracle and the three keys? She said the three keys must come together. And she even felt like Julie may be one of those keys. What does that mean?
The oracles, the three keys must come together. Your history have lost the knowledge of the oracles. The oracles were a great part of ancient civilizations. Each civilization had oracles. Usually there was three women, three keys that will link together, that will come together in meditation, in chanting, and they would connect. They have an ability to connect to the other realms, but also there is an ancient technology embedded in those three. The fate, you can call it that way, has been specifically chosen. That's why you don't hear about it, because it was always a woman that was chosen to be the key of the oracle. And the male forces were always afraid of that. The three keys must come together. We do not want to reveal any more than that. This is for their own safety. They have to come together and meet. Everything will be revealed at that time. We do know the three keys. The vessel is one key, Julie is the second, and there is the third key, and we know which one is it. But we do not want to reveal her at this time. We can reveal it a later time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. So I think Monika said maybe it was about a year ago. She was sort of in that in between state and heard, "You are ready." And then everything in her life changed. All her gifts started coming online. What do you want to share with her about that?
She always had the gifts, but they were cloaked for her own safety. The moment we said that she is ready, we knew that she is ready, that she was ready to awaken up, that she is ready to heal all of the traumas from her physical body and mental body that was acquired in this incarnation. We knew that she was ready to see and to know all of this. She came to her powers, you can say, all in the perfect time. Now she is on the path that she is always supposed to be on, but every single step that she's taken was for her benefit, and she knows that now. She understands how and she understands why. The new fifth dimensional life have started, and she have her destiny is starting from now on. Every single road that she has taken have guided her to this place and to this moment.
Wonderful. And she said she was told that she needed to have this session with me maybe a few times before making that choice. But what was important about that?
We have told her to book the session because you are the bridge. You are the bridge between the star seeds and the general public. You are the bridge that is sending the messages through. People are watching, even those people who are still afraid to come out. You have the courage to send the messages out. Doesn't matter how people will judge, and this vessel here is no longer afraid to be judged. It really doesn't matter. What is matter that more and more people are awakening, more and more people do not understand what is happening to them, what they are seeing, what they are heard, and there will be more and more things that will be happening. The psychic gifts of many people will be awakening, and those people will be shaken. They wouldn't know what happened to them. They wouldn't know what what is wrong with them, when we wanted to say there is nothing wrong with you. You are just awakening to your full truly powers. You are just awakening to see the truth, to see the veil behind the lies, to see everything as it truly is, to ascend, to awaken, to be the force this new communities needs, and not to be afraid, and to come into your full powers. But we cannot do it ourselves. We need each other. The humanity must come together. And there are many of those who are sending the messages. So our message is, do not afraid. Do not afraid to show who you truly are, because what is the life if it's not yours? If you are afraid who you are, how can you embody fully your soul? How can you be in contact with your soul, with your higher self, with who you truly are, with your angels? If you are afraid of your own shadow, if you're afraid of your own, you are not here to be afraid. You are here to be awakened. In you, Heather, is a bridge, because you are sending the messages. You are putting this on the internet where people can see, when people can hear, and they can start to see that they are not the only ones who are awakening. They are not the only ones who hear the sounds that are not their own, to hear the voices that are coming, that wants to take them somewhere, that they want to explain and they want to talk, they want to have that connection. You are the bridge, not only between the people who are coming to you, but also the bridge between the communities that will be forming. There will be a community that will be forming, and you will be the key ingredients that take this all and put it together. Through you, many people will meet and they will create a communities.
Well, I love that. I'm excited for those communities to get set up and in place. Thank you for that. Let's talk about Monica's gifts and abilities, and especially those healing hands. She doesn't quite trust them just yet. So let's tell her just how powerful those hands are and what other gifts do you want to share with her?
Oh, she's got very healing hands, but her human mind is still a little bit in resistance. That she knows how powerful the hands are because she's using them on herself when something is hurting, but her human mind is still a little bit of resistance because there is still a lot of judgment and dogma around how those gifts were activated. And those gifts were activated. She's carrying a very potent. Mm, there was a merging of energies, emerging from Archangel Raphael. Syrian elders were the one who activated her hands, and there was a Yeshua who helped to activate the hands as well. There are energy portals in the center of her palms, and there is an energy portal in the heart that is able to detect and see. She does not see a different dimension with their human eyes, but she sees a lot in her third eye. So when she closes her eyes, she can see different kinds of energies. She is able to see a threads of life, as we call them. So she can detect if there is a connection to a specific person that is not for the highest good of that person. So if there is a narcissistic parent or any other, or a friend who is not in the good vibrations, she can see the threads that are connecting people together. She can see them and she can remove them. She have been given a sword from Archangel Michael, and she was making this joke that she is getting the miniature version of the sword because the sword is much smaller than the one that Archangel Michael is carrying, but he gave her a smaller sword for that particular reason, so she can remove the cords and ties that are not in the best interest, so she can remove attachments from herself and from others. She have been given healing power so she can heal people, not only herself, but others. Her human self is still not in the full comprehension how powerful that is. She is seeing many different things and combining with the channeling. When she is channeling, usually it is an angelic realm and it is easier for her because her nomadic angel counterpart is an angel of forgiveness that it sits in the crystal palace of seraphim. So she have very easy access to the healing waters of the fountain in the seraphim palace, and she is the angel. And every time she's doing a healing, Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael usually are with her along with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. They are they like to assist with the healings that are coming in. So the healings can take a different form depending on the person. And she has been instructed to use everything, every sense. She's still learning to use those senses because the senses are the energetic sense, her third eye, her channeling, because when we are connected to the field of consciousness, we are automatically connecting to the other person, to the higher self of the other person, and we are able to get the images or information on what is needed, what is hurting, and what we can do to help. It doesn't mean that the person is always ready to hear, but we are trying our best to do what we can to help each and every person on this planet.
And so, with her amazing sword from Archangel Michael, is this something you would encourage her to use more as she comes across these chords? Um, is that something that is, well, if it's for the greatest and highest good of the person that she comes into contact with, or with permission from their higher self? Sometimes I know we still have lessons and things we have to learn. But what would you suggest or recommend for her as far as working with this ability?
So the ability is it's all of them. She needs to use all of them, including the threads of life, because when we see the threads of life, we are seeing like a multiple different colored threads, like a cord, like a rope that has different colors. They mean different things, and we can go and see if the connection is corrupted. So if there is a connection and the cord is black, that means that this cord must be removed because the cord is toxic. It's turned toxic. So from whoever is coming, that person is either draining the energy or is abusive the energy. Sometimes it might be the parents. Sometimes the person might hold an attachment, a negative attachment that is draining the other person. So we don't use the sword, and Archangel Michael always assists with the healings. And he is, when she is doing something like that, she's always asking Archangel Michael for help. So Archangel Michael always assists, and if he sees that it needs to be removed, then it is removed. It is never, she never works alone. There is always Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael always with her when she's doing any types of healing. So that she is never alone. She is never have to make a decision alone. We are existing in the consciousness field when there is no even words that are needed. We just see things as they are, and there is immediate knowing what needs to be done.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Let's talk.
The sword is more like a representation. The sword is more like a representation of an item of his frequency. It is for protection, for her protection, and it is for cutting the cords. She is divinely protected, and she have been told that many times. Every time she is going to be around a person who has an attachment or there is a negative energy around, she always, I've been told that she is protected and she is energetically protective. The Archangel Michael always comes in and he always protects her.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Let's talk about her dragon self and her dragon connection. She has a beautiful violet dragon. And she mentioned that when she connected at one time, she saw her chakras in a little bit different colors, but also connected to this beautiful dragon. The heart was this beautiful pink color, and the third eye was this orange crystal. What can you share about that?
Both of the chakras were crystal in crystalline form. And the reason that he was shown those colors, because those colors are fifth dimensional. They are not in a third dimensional. So once you are cross to the fifth dimension and you are vibrating fifth dimensionally or higher, your chakras will change colors. Your chakras will change colors, and hers was already changed when she came to this world. Her heart chakra is pink. It is having a little bit green around it, but this is the color of Archangel Raphael that has placed his energy within her. She have merged the energies, so he every time she is doing healings, she can channel his energy. He have given his energy to her. He's sharing that energy with her. So there is a little bit of green in there, but main color of her chakras are different than the conventional seven colors as you may know it. But more and more people will start to see their chakras in the different colors as they are ascending to the fifth dimension.
And tell me more about this violet dragon.
The violet dragon was added to her team of guides. It is a different representation of her energy, her dragon self. She and a dragon are one. The dragon is waiting for her. She already seen it, but the dragon is not here with her now too. He is, or she is rather, waiting for her when she moves, because there is a connection. Her son is a dragon soul as well, and he will come into his full powers. He will be awakened. His eye will open in Hawaii.
What else can you share with her about this move to Hawaii? What does she need to know?
She was told that her place is in Hawaii. There is a perfect blend of the energies. The energies are high. They are Lemurian, and she does have high Lemurian energies within her. The energy of fire, she needs an energy of fire. She is a fire sign, and she does have a dragon. All of those are fire, and she needs that. So her husband is a water sign, and he is a very powerful water sign. He needs the water. So this is a perfect place. It is a high vibrational place for her family to move. Her son is a dragon soul. The firstborn is Andromedan. They do not know yet. They have not been awakened yet. It is coming very soon. And the life will start. Everything will come into place in Hawaii. For now, we are just in a gestation period. We are waiting everything to come into place. The pieces of the puzzle slowly coming together. And soon there will be a full picture.
Wonderful. Well, let's talk about her son, Hubert, and the tumor in his brain that she was told was a second, third eye, not a tumor. What can you share with her about that?
That is correct. The doctors only know what they can know. He is a dragon. He is a dragon soul. And the anatomy of the dragons are not well known. He does have a second, third eye, and it is tried to be awakened in 2012 and in 2019 when the high energies from the galactic, from the core, were coming on and was trying to awaken his body, was not able to sustain the amount of energy and amount of the codes and information. So it did shut it down and it resulted in the seizures. Now he is on a medication and he will be until he is fully awakened and his third eye will open. For now, he is doing good. That the pills he is taking are not making much. They are not making any damage. They are just sustaining the comfortable position until he's ready. But he is a wave, a new wave of dragons coming to this earth. His children will be a dragon children.
And what does that mean to be a dragon child?
There is a high vibrational soul that is coming to this earth. As the veil, as we are coming to the fifth dimensional earth, the veils will start to open to a different dimensions. That we only thought was a myth will start to becoming visible. We will start to see different dimensions. We will start to see a dragons. A dragon can be in the human form. There are many dragons. They are choosing to stay away from this dimension. They are in their own dimension. They can choose to incarnate into physical and into the human. And the reason they are doing in the human, because if they are going to incarnate in their dragon form, there will be too much of the fear coming, and they do not want that. So they will start to incarnate as a human, and as their vibrations and their energy will be emanating from them, and more humans will come in contact with those when they will start coming as their true form in a dragon form. There will be no fear coming, because that energy will be recognized already. The humans and other species will recognize the energy signature of those creatures, and they will no longer be afraid of them. The same comes from the others, like fairies, and inner earth beings.
So Monika mentioned that she was shown that she would have two grandchildren. One child born of air and fire would be a dragon child, and one child born of earth and water would be a fairy child. What does she need to know about those beautiful children?
Two children born of air and fire, a dragon children. One child born of earth and water, a fairy child. Those are my grandchildren, and they will be born in the year of fire dragon in 2036. These are the next generations that are coming. The next generations, as I was telling, when the dragons will start to incarnate in the human bodies, and other species will start to incarnate in the human bodies. There will be much more. There will be a hybrid children. This is the new earth integration, when all the creatures of the universe can meet together in one place without fear, without judgment, and get used to each other and work together.
Amazing. That's just amazing. So, moving back to Hubert, she wants to know the two birthmarks, the one on the top of his head and the one on his back. What are those?
Those are the battles in his dragon form. There was a time when he was in his dragon form, incarnated in his true form on earth, and he was hunted and killed. Is taken from his incarnation, but we come to an agreement that he can come and incarnate with me, and he will not have any judgment from me and from our family. So he agreed to come. He is a great, beautiful big dragon, very brave. Shimmering, iridescent light.
Beautiful. And is there anything that you want to share with her about her other son?
He is a soul from Andromeda. He is very closed up, but he is intelligent. He will be working with extraterrestrials on the multiple engineering projects. His soul decided that he will not pursue a career and a college degree at this time, because it would limit his knowledge of what's possible. Learning from the college or university that has been penetrated and has teachings, outdated teachings of what's possible. He decided this is not in his best interest, so he decided to skip and wait until his galactic family comes in contact, and he'll be able to work on those projects to help humanity.
Wonderful. Do you have a sense of, and I know time is hard to say and things are always shifting, but when we have more open contact with these beings here on Earth, how far away might that be? Just
Not very far away. They are already here. We don't see them. Or sometimes there are glimpses, but they are already here. They are just waiting. They are waiting. What we are showing this vessel right now is the contact will happen on the fifth dimension. When most people will move into the fifth dimension, they will arrive in the fifth dimension, because the 3D Earth, a lot of people who are in the state of fear, it will not be beneficial for them to see, because there is too much propaganda coming from the television. There are too many people who are listen to that, and they are believe that their government have their best interest at heart. So whichever news coming from the television, they are believing that. And when the television or the radio, mass media is telling that the aliens are coming to destroy us, they are in a fear state. It will not be any beneficial to show up. But there are many, more and more people are waiting for the contact. The contact is already happening for the few individuals. The contact is happening within the consciousness field, sometimes, not very often, in a physical field. But the physical contact is very close, depending of where people are vibrating. The timelines are splitting. The timelines are disconnecting, and much more people are tuning into the fifth dimensional Earth, leaving the third dimensional timeline behind. So as we are connecting with the timeline of the golden age of the fifth dimension, we are bringing and bridging the time when the physical contact is happening. It is happening. It's coming very soon.
wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Well, let's see if we can get to the root of this ulcerative colitis. Where's it coming from? What does she need to know? And how can we get this healed for her?
This body does not doing well with so much pollution, even though she is making her hardest to keep the clean diet clean and limited ingredients, and not any junk food, not sodas, no chips. Some of the ingredients still cannot be acquired other way than in the grocery store from the bigger markets, and they are sprayed with glyphosate and different preservatives that are not in the highest good of this vessel. The body is just reacting to letting her know that that the food is poisoned in a way. Her body is dealing with it, but not without repercussions, and the repercussions are mostly happening in the energetic field. She is taking medication which helping manage, but this will not go away until she will make a full switch into the fifth dimension and living in her designed space. For now, we are just managing. The water is polluted as well, and she's doing the very best to drink clean water. But the source cannot always be confirmed. So for now, we are managing, but it will get better. We will be able to get a full healing of that a little bit later.
Wonderful. And I'll just ask while we're here if there's anything energetically you can do to strengthen or assist throughout the remainder of the session. We would be so grateful.
She is getting her energy from the sun, tipping the face into the sun. It hits the eyes, and it is like a battery that can charge and can help healing the body. You humans have forgotten how the healing sun is. You need to spend more time in the sun. They have got you fooled with the SPF that you cannot go into the sun without wearing an SPF. This is all part of keeping you weak and keeping you sick. The sun is very healing. The light coming from the sun is a great healer. Nobody says you have to spend hours and hours, but putting the creams on your bodies will make more damage than the sun can ever create. The cancer, they are saying, is caused by the sun exposure. It is a hoax. The sun does not create cancer. The sun heals the cancer. The cancer comes from the harmful ingredients that are inside the creams that you're putting on. So it is coming into the contact or seeping into the skin. The skin is the biggest organ of your body, and you're putting harmful ingredients on it, and then you're surprised you're getting a skin cancer. But the sun is not to blame. Sun is a great healer, and this vessel needs more sun. So she's doing everything she can. Good hydration, sun, and the red light therapy light when there is no sun. Trying to stay hydrated, and the clean diet. That's all we can do for now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. She's curious to know if there are any blocks that are currently active and how can she remove them if there are?
There was a block in her causal chakra that was causing a side of her neck a little bit stiff and achy. But that was only when the strong energy is coming and the energy flow was not going as it should. But usually she is really good removing the blocks herself. There are still some mental blocks. Her human brain is trying to bring her back to the beliefs that are still there, and she is aware of it. But the brain and the ego is guiding her to those specific ones to alert her that those are false beliefs and she is ready to be released. But the problem is that they are so embedded that it's taking a little bit longer to get them removed. And the problem is, and many humans are not aware, that none of your beliefs are actually yours. All the beliefs that you have were placed on you by your family, by your society, by your government. So the discernment is needed to decide those beliefs are there for my highest good, or they are here to limit me in any way. And like we said, they are not always very easy to be released because they are placed so early in our lives, in the human lives, that it is almost like we are taking them as a part of our personality. But we can change them.
Wonderful. And she wants to know what is needed right now to serve her highest good.
She needs to stay positive. She needs to stay positive and she needs to start reaching out for people. We are starting to show her different visions and information for others so she can reach out and talk. But we also feel like most of those people are not ready to receive those messages. And she doesn't quite know how to approach that. She doesn't quite know how to come across with all that she knows and where is she getting the information from, because a lot of people are not awakened, and those who are, they are still partially in their fear state a little bit, and they do not trust the outside sources, especially those who are deeply in the Christian faith, when the Christian faith is labeling everything that does not come from the priest, that is of the demonic or satanic origin. So there is a lot of mistrust in that field. She does not, she is not afraid to being judged. Not really, but it is harder for her to navigate what she knows and what she sees and what information she's getting and get the message across. And even though we are seeing everything from the higher perspective, a lot of people who are in their wounded ego state, they cannot see the clear picture. And a lot of times they are coming as very defensive and do not want to accept the message. It's a work in progress.
What else do you want her to know? What haven't I asked today that you'd like to share with her? What does she need to help her on her mission and path forward?
She needs to be her own. She needs to understand that what we are showing her, what we are telling her that she is, to be fully in that energy, to bring that energy down, to radiate that energy, who she truly is, to have her soul fully seated inside this human body, to emanate in her auric field, and to not be afraid, that to know that we are always with her and we will always protect her and that we will always take her where she needs to go. We will bring the right people. We will bring the right circumstances. We will guide her along the way. Everything will be all right. There are things that we are not showing her. There are things that we are not telling her, but it only is for her own good. Because if her human mind gets a hold of it and starts spinning, it might create a resistance or the rift in the original energy, and we do not want that. So sometimes it is better for her not to know what's coming. But she is aware that she can connect with us, and she is connecting with us very often. She talks with us, she connects, she gets all the information she needs. Sometimes she is frustrated that the things are not coming as fast as she would like them to come. And we always say the time is irrelevant. Everything will come in the right time.
And what final messages do you have to share with humanity? What's the most important thing we all need to know right now?
What we wanted to say is start living from your heart. Start thinking from your heart. If you see someone, think with your heart, not what your eyes see, not what you think, because the circumstances of every person will be different. Every single person will have different path and different goals for this lifetime. We cannot judge another. We cannot judge. What we can do is to see what we see and accept that this is what they have chosen. They have a free will and they can do as they please. They can do and go whichever way they want. And they have the same right to live their life how they please, just like we do. But that doesn't mean that we have to judge them. We cannot judge them. I am the angel of forgiveness, and forgiveness is the key to your happiness. First, you have to forgive yourself for all the mistakes that you did in the past. And you have to forgive yourself that you have let yourself to be in a fearful state, that you have let yourself to be in a victimhood mentality. You have to forgive yourself first, and then forgive others. Even if others have wronged you, you have to forgive. Although a heart cannot be filled with love if it's filled with anything else. You need to clear your heart. Forgive. Forgive everyone. It doesn't matter who this is, what they done, it doesn't matter. This is time to start anew, to start a new earth. We cannot go to the new earth with the old baggage dragging along. You need to leave that all behind. You have to forgive every single soul. And with the clear heart, step into the Christ consciousness, the love for all human beings and all living things, heart, coherence, love for yourself and for your life, and step into the new age. You won't be able to go if your heart is not in the right place. But we believe in humanity. We believe that they can do the switch. We can believe that they can accomplish that and they can move. They can move into their own power, take their power away, forgive, move on, love themselves, love others. The light has already won. Not many are speaking about it, but light has already won. And we are so very happy to see more and more people seeing the light. We need more and more people saying that they see the light, that they are the light. What we are seeing happening in the world right now is the old playing itself out. It's just the remnants of the old fire that is just embers left a little bit before it crumbles to the dust. But the light has already won. A new light is upon us, it's already in, and it's lighting our heart, but we have to allow this light to come in. And the light is love for all.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for those beautiful messages and so much for this amazing session. Are there any final messages before we end today's session?
We can talk for hours, but we understand that this is not how things must go, and that you all have your human lives that needs to carry over. But if you ever need to contact us again, we are more than welcome. We are always delighted to pass the messages, to see what's going on with the energies of Earth and the humans. We are here for this particular time in service to humanity. And this is our most joyful thing to do, to help, to spread the love, and to spread the light.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for all of this amazing and incredible information. This has been such a beautiful session, and it has been such an honor to connect with each and every one of you.